So the question is, does being part of the Avian Influenza Clean Program help you with selling hatching eggs? So the answer to that is, personally for me, yes, it has helped. But first, let's talk about what is the Avian Influenza Clean Program. So I joined the Avian Influenza Clean Program in Massachusetts on June 13th of 2022. So I'm coming up on 1 year of being in the program. And I gotta say, I've been able to fill a lot more hatching egg orders than I have in the past 2 years. So the Avian Influenza Clean Program essentially means that your flock is being tested for avian influenza every 6 months by the state that you live in, and those test results are verified by the state so that you can participate in the program. And also, to be in the Avian Influenza Clean Program, at least here in Massachusetts, I needed to be part of the National Poultry Improvement Plan. Now, I made a whole video on the National Poultry Improvement Plan program, how I got into it, my whole experience with it. You can watch that video. It's called How to Get National Poultry Improvement Plan Certified. I became an NPIP participant in September of 2021, so approximately 1 year and 8 months ago. And I gotta say, I'm really happy that I joined both programs because they've really helped me being able to sell hatching eggs online to different states. With the Avian Influenza Clean Program, by going through the NPIP program first, I had all my biosecurity implements in place on my farm. I had already passed inspections through the NPIP program. So then when it came time to join the Avian Influenza Clean Program, I needed to make sure that I was adhering to the rules of that program, which are similar to the NPIP program, but also include that you're testing for avian influenza every 6 months. And honestly, the testing is quick, and it gives me peace of mind, especially with all the highly pathogenic avian influenza outbreaks that are happening around the world. To have that done more frequently, I think is great. Now, the reason that I find it helps is because before I was in the NPIP program, selling hatching eggs across state lines is very difficult because only certain states will allow you to sell hatching eggs without that NPIP certificate. Now, the list is ever changing, but on the NPIP database website, it does show the state importation requirements. And at this point, I'm only seeing 5 states that do not require that you are in the NPIP program. And that would be, according to this list, Alaska, Oregon, Rhode Island, Tennessee, and Wyoming. And that's for shipments into state. And then of course, every state is different when you're shipping hatching eggs into that state. So there is requirements. And before I ship any hatching eggs out, I call the contact number that's on this list for the state that I'm shipping into to see what those requirements are. So in my experience, being in the NPIP program as well as the Avian Influenza Clean Program, I'm able to ship to most states with that alone. However, prior to being in the Avian Influenza Clean Program, I had to deny hatching egg orders because there were certain states that required that I had AI testing done prior to sending out the hatching eggs, which for a small flock, small farm, it's just not feasible for me to have testing done within 3 weeks of each shipment for these small shipments that I'm doing. It's just not financially feasible, and I wouldn't want to put my flock through that kind of testing that often. As far as getting into the program, since I was already an NPIP participant, I just had to request to be part of the program and have the poultry inspector come out to do my flock testing and my farm inspection. And so she came out, she tested all the birds that were over 4 months of age, and those birds received little bracelets like they do with the Pylorium typhoid testing that's done. So they had the avian influenza test as well as the Pylorium typhoid test to be done all at the same time, so they're on the same schedule. And the avian influenza test is repeated every 6 months. And so once I had that testing done, it went to the lab. Lab results came in showing negative for avian influenza. Yay! And then from there, I got an email on June 13th of 2022 saying that I was part of the H5H7 AI Clean classification. So now when I call the state vets of different states for shipping and hatching eggs, they'll ask, are you part of the Avian Clean program? And I'll say, yes, I am. And that just makes things just go so much smoother, so much easier. I can just give them my flock identification number so they can look it up and verify, and it's so much easier. Now, before I joined the Avian Clean program, I was advised to look over the requirements for that program, and I did so by looking at the NPIP database. There is a part, it's called Part 145, Subpart E. So you do have to scroll down to get to that part, and there it'll say avian influenza, and it outlines everything that's expected of you in that program. And it's very helpful so that you can be prepared for what's required of you in the program and make sure that your biosecurity is up to code for that inspection coming up. So the link to that website I'm going to put in the description box below. You just click the More button, and that drop down menu will come down, and you'll see the link for the NPIP website and the information on where to find Part 145. And if shipping hatching eggs is something you are thinking of doing, definitely look into getting into the NPIP program and the Avian Clean program, because not only does it help with shipping hatching eggs, but the resources that you get through that program with the free testing, at least in Massachusetts, some states you do have to pay for the testing, so that can vary. But just the wealth of knowledge that the poultry inspectors and state vets have that can really help you with any farm questions you have. I have certainly reached out to them by phone, by email, with lots of questions about my flock and what I need to do. And so they've been really helpful. Okay, now for the stats. In 2021, I had a total of 3 hatching egg orders for a total of 30 eggs sold. And that was before I became part of the NPIP program, because I didn't become part of the NPIP program until September of 2021. So it was at the end of the year, and I stopped selling hatching eggs typically in the winter time because my hens are not laying eggs. Being Buff Orpingtons, they do slow down significantly in the winter time. Now, fast forward to 2022, I sold 7 orders of hatching eggs for a total of 97 eggs. And that was through the NPIP program. Now, I didn't join into the AI Clean program until June of 2022. So all those orders before that, I was experiencing difficulties with shipping to different states because I wasn't in the AI Clean program in 2021 and part of 2022. So once I did join in 2022, I was able to ship out some eggs after that. But 2023, this so far has been my year for selling hatching eggs, because I'm in the 2 programs, so it's so much easier to sell hatching eggs. I have more confidence in it. I'm able to put my hatching eggs for sale and not be so worried about having to cancel an order because I can't ship to the state that they are ordering from. And so in 2023, we have sold so far, right now we are in May, and so far we have sold 7 egg orders for a total of 211 eggs, which is so incredibly exciting because that's our best year yet so far. And we still have a few more months that I'll be selling hatching eggs, so it's really exciting. Now, if you want to know where I sell hatching eggs, where I find success with selling hatching eggs, there's 2 places, and I'm going to talk about that in the next video, so be sure to check that out. And if you haven't started your farm yet, what are you waiting for? Get your farm on. And if you got some value out of this content, please feel free to like and subscribe to the channel to see more.
1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. Do you want to farm? A wicked awesome farm? Watch this channel to learn what to do. We love to farm and we'll show you.